Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Sleepy Geeky.
I'm very tired today.
She's very tired today, but we're going to do a follow-up video to last night's video on this Lion Forge Oni Press merger because all of Twitter is talking about it and they're not happy.
Boo-hoo.
Who would be happy? You're losing your job. Who's going to be happy, right? So, of course, when these things happen, people usually tend to lose their jobs. Now,
well, yeah.
now, so there are people losing their jobs, and they're complaining about losing the jobs mostly because the people they're laying off are the kinds of people you would think the comic book industry would really want to work with right now.
Oh, yeah. That's one way of putting it.
No, I'm just saying, like, these are not the people you think they would get rid of, but, you know, when they're pushing for more inclusiveness and more diversity in comics, they're getting rid of the more inclusive, diverse people.
Maybe because there's a reason why they're merging, because they weren't doing well.
Well, okay, so you read this. This is actually coming from Comics Beat. Comics Beat is actually owned by Lion Forge. So this is going to be interesting. This is almost like they're going to be typing up their own obituary. I don't know where Comics Beat is going to be when the dust clears. I mean, obviously they're going to need some sort of a PR mouthpiece, so they'll probably be okay for now. But if they're making cuts like this, it's very possible that Comics Beat could be on the chopping block. Especially if the advertising.
Well, they don't need it because there's a bunch of other blogs and stuff that'll cover it for free.
Well, yeah.
Like ours.
Give us a free comic and we'll you know.
Anyway, good.
More details emerge regarding Lion Forge and Oni Press merger and layoffs. On Wednesday morning, okay, we gotta type out this. On Wednesday morning, the New York Times revealed that Lion Forge Comics and Oni Press are planning to merge. That was the most bullshit article.
It was.
Comics are booming, so these two companies are gonna merge together because the industry is doing so well.
Well, that's not what the tweets sound like either.
That's not what the tweets sound like either. Like, this is like how you put a positive spin on this. The only reason the comic book industry looked like it did better on paper in 2018 was because they added Amazon sales, crowdfunding, this nebulous like other category, and there's no way to tell really what, you know, if we compared apples to apples, you know, what the deficit would have been. It probably would have been, you know, a couple $100 million underneath or under 2017.
It's like giving a runner like a 2-mile head start and then being like, oh, they ran the 5K in record time.
Yeah, you know, it's not apples to apples, but they're trying to make the comic book industry look like it's doing better. But, you know, the people who are actually working in the trenches know the truth. We have had a record number of comic book shops close in the last year or two. We have IDW struggling to pay its bills. We've got this merger, you know, Lion Forge and Oni. Now, Oni's actually looks like they're in a better place than Lion Forge. It looks more or less like Oni is absorbing Lion Forge at this point because it looks like most of the staffers cut were on the Lion Forge end. Because Oni actually, some of their books do sell decently. I know they do Rick and Morty, and they do, I think they're doing Invader Zim now. And they have, you know, their back catalog, Scott Pilgrim, stuff like that. So they're doing okay-ish, I guess, about as good as you can do being an indie publisher in this market. But Lion Forge was not doing good. Lion Forge was selling like 400 copies of books. And a lot of those books were for a certain audience that probably didn't buy comic books, you know, obviously.
Oh, yeah, but no, you know, we have to pander to audience at all times.
Okay, so the company's combined publishing efforts will be based out of Portland, where Oni is, and overseen by Oni's publisher, James Lucas Jones. And if you look at the core staff, it's all like Oni people. So the article contains some hints that there would be staffing changes. The merger, I love how they always put a positive spin on this when these things happen. It's never good for people working there. But this is not the first time they lay people off. They laid people off back in November. That should have been a warning when they start laying a bunch of people off that they were talking. It sounds like they were talking for a while. So
I was looking at those, and I might read the one, but that's it.
Would you? What is this? I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what this is. Okay, so the merger will combine assets from both companies and require an examination of staff levels. So this is corporate speak for people are going to get fired.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Just over 20 at Lion Forge and under 20 at Oni. We're going to take a look at inefficiencies or efficiencies and identify a number of areas of growth. Further details confirming layoffs from both companies have emerged. Among those layoffs is Andrea Colvin, Lion Forge's editor-in-chief. Andrea Colvin, we actually pitched a book to her before. She works very heavily in the graphic novel side of things. She came from, I think, Macmillan, so she was in the libraries and all that. This tells me if they're getting rid of Andrea Colvin, they really don't care about graphic novels. I think they're pushing into animation and games or whatever the hell they want to do.
This is Lion Forge. If Oni has an editor-in-chief like that, they don't need 2 people is what they're saying.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying Andrea's specialty was graphic novels. And so I don't think they're really concerned so much about the comics at this point. Because actually Oni's editor-in-chief is Sarah Gatos, who I've worked with before. And she deals mostly with like licensed stuff, IP.
Yeah,
so
that's where mine is.
So that's what I'm saying. Like this kind of shows you where they're going with things. The associate editor Christina Stewart has been laid off. She can't say anything about the merger. She's looking for freelance work. Yes, she's been laid off. In addition, Desiree Wilson confirmed her layoff from Oni Press shortly after news of the merger. Desiree, bisexual, lightning and murder. I don't think that's actually her surname, but this is where it's going to get sticky because they talk about how they want to push for more inclusivity and more diversity in comics, and they're laying off the diverse people. The only black person at Oni, just got sacked. So if you want to know if Oni cares about marginalized and POC folks, there's your answer.
Yeah, but just because you are a black person doesn't mean that automatically means that you shouldn't be either. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're probably looking at redundancies and all that, but it's very curious that they're like, we're going to publish diverse comics for diverse people.
It is funny.
But then we're going to turn around and get rid of...
completely see the irony here, yes.
Yes. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard to make a case for publishing diverse books for diverse people when you're getting rid of
it is
diverse
I do
people,
get the irony.
So, but I do agree. I think everything at the end of the day should be performance-based, but when you're going to broadcast it, that's your publishing goal.
Yeah, I know, but I just think it's funny that she's using that as the reason why she shouldn't be sacked. Not because I'm really good at my job, because I'm the only person of color. That's
yeah, I know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Lion Forge editor Jasmine Amiri and senior editor Amanda Meadows tweeted more cryptic statuses. Yeah, they don't know. That's actually the worst. That is the worst thing when you're in that situation where you know changes are coming, you know layoffs are coming, but you don't know if you're going to be sacked or not. And you're always like, am I going to lose my job? Thank you to everyone who's reached out. Not sure what the future holds. Hey, buds, I can't say much about the merger. Not sure what will happen. Oni Press warehouse assistant Scott Sharkey also tweeted he was laid off. I'm one of the lucky people who got sacked in the wake of the clusterfuck. Oni, do you think he's happy about it? I don't think he's happy about it.
I'm noticing something. There's people that are not black and they're different genders that got laid off too.
That is true.
So
maybe
I stand by what I'm saying.
I'm trying to maybe they actually took a look after they did the first round of layoffs and they said, okay, we're going to combine who do we need and who don't we need.
That's what I'm saying.
And
maybe it's more to do with that
was
and not based on, marginalization.
But it's not uncommon for people to be very pissed off when they get laid off.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them.
I've been there. I've been there.
I don't blame them.
I know how it is. I'm one of the people who got sacked. If anyone knows anyone in need of slightly used writer-editor Carney, accountant, bartender, warehouse monkey, blackjack dealer, it'd be appreciated. Well, it sounds like he's got some other job skills.
Yeah,
I think he'll be okay.
He's got a lot.
This tweet is from Mags Visaggio and confirmed that Melissa Mazzaros, Oni's director of PR, was let go. Mag says, the more I read about the Oni Lion Forge layoffs, the more crushed I am. It's awful. I'd like to single out Melissa, who was Oni's director of publicity. Mazzaros' Twitter account now lists Oni as a past job.
I'm sorry. It's horrible and mean, but I appreciate the irony. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, meanwhile, several in the industry have expressed their thoughts on the merger, including Cheryl Lynn Eaton, who actually has me blocked, and I don't know why. I've never interacted with Cheryl Lynn Eaton in any capacity, but I'm blocked. The fact that the new company will be run out of Portland, a city that is above and beyond the pale, no pun intended, abusive to black people, defeats the purpose of this merger.
Well, no, it doesn't, because they let the one black person go. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, if they're going to use that to argue.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So they're going to be fine, because if they're abusive to black people, which they shouldn't be, I'm not saying that that's okay. What I'm saying is...
Oh, God. Do you see the irony in all this?
That's the reason I make these comments. The irony is what I'm talking about.
So let's take the gloves off a little bit. Lion Forge and Oni, not as much as Lion Forge, but Oni and Lion Forge are both what I guess you would call quote-unquote woke comic book publishers. Mm-hmm. But they're not really behaving in a very woke fashion. you know, with the layoff choices. And really, I think they kind of got to this place, especially Lion Forge. Like I said, Oni's been around for a long time. It seems like Oni is absorbing Lion Forge. But Lion Forge, and I've talked to other people in the industry who have friends that work at Lion Forge. I'm like, how in the hell does Lion Forge even stay in business? You look at their numbers and they're selling under 1,000 copies of books. I'm like, I don't even understand how they stay in business. And now we have the answer. They're not.
Yeah, that's why.
Because they're producing comics
that people don't want to buy.
That people don't want to buy.
The people that they're making it for don't spend money. So
well, or they don't spend money on comics. That's, you know,
that's what I'm saying. They are
these comics.
Well, they don't spend the money. Is what I'm saying. They don't spend the money on their books. Is what I'm saying.
So here we are. And here we are. So some Lion Forge staff, this is coming from Publishers Weekly. The publicist reached, you know, the publicist is probably like, oh my God, I got to put this fire out. Lion Forge staff, he said, were offered positions within the Oni structure. Some, not many. In Portland, and others were offered positions within the Polarity umbrella. That means there are other companies. Maybe they can write for the Beat or something, which encompasses a number of companies. In addition, he said, some positions were eliminated outright or consolidated. This happens. This happens when companies buy other companies. This happens when you can't sell comic books because the comic book industry has been pummeled into the ground, despite what the New York Times says. This is what happens. Publishers go out of business.
Oh, this is interesting.
So Atkins clarified what the merger will look like from the consumer perspective via Twitter. Does this mean that Lion Forge is going to change its name to Oni Press or the other way around, or will they keep things separate? Oni Press will be the publisher of all creator-owned books going forward, with Lion Forge as the home to Catalyst Prime and other company-owned IP. So they're not calling it like, you know, Lion Oni, or, you know, Oni Forge or anything like that. They're basically, I think Lion Forge is being absorbed by Oni, and it'll be like a brand underneath the Oni Press umbrella. So, asked to comment on downsizing, they responded with this very corporate statement. So they don't comment on personal matters. It's worth noting that, this is funny, it's worth noting that Lion Forge and Oni each bring impressive track records of championing, I can never get that right. Championing underrepresented creators and fans with inclusive, authentic content.
As they get rid of the one person of color they have.
The one person of color. By combining our efforts, we get to do that powerful and important work at a whole new level. This is a good thing, guys. It's a good thing that all these people lost their jobs. With a diverse and experienced management team, but no people of color.
Yeah.
And well, except
but it's okay, they're in Portland.
No women of color.
So it's okay because they're in Portland.
Yeah, and with the leadership and ownership team, that is a majority of people of color. Wait a second. Oh, okay. Because the Oni, she was the only. Okay, then they brought more people of color, I guess, from Lion Forge. So, okay, so mostly it looks like, from what I can see, most of the people that are staying are Oni people, and they're focusing on the animation.
If she was the only person of color at Oni, and the majority of people staying are Oni people, how could they have a bunch of, you know, creators that are people of color?
Oh.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
I don't know. It just look. The reason this happened is the comic book industry is in the shitter. These smaller press companies, they can't survive. They're
back in the wrong projects.
They're back in the wrong projects. So they're having to combine. And I do think before it's all said and done, I mean, I think we're either going to see IDW get absorbed into another comic book publisher or another publishing outfit, or go under completely. And I think we might see like Boom and Dynamite and Dark Horse and these other smaller publishers combine at some point. So this is going to continue to happen, but the comic book industry and the New York Times insist that the industry is fine, everything's fine, that things are booming, things are great.
They always insist that.
It's not fine, guys. It's not fine. Things are not fine, and I don't know how many more reminders you need that things are not fine, but that's where we're at.
There you go. I don't know what else to follow that with. It's just they were doing so hot they wouldn't be combining.
Yeah.
They're not selling to begin with, so let's do more of that.
Let's do more of the same.
No, they're probably going to try to go with animation and be like, look, we're going to be the next, High Guardian Spice.
Oh God, they're combining to make another High Guardian Spice. That's what they're doing. So I don't know. I do feel bad for the people who got laid off.
Yeah, I do too. That sucks.
Because that always does suck. But this is the comic book industry, and I don't know what to tell people. If you're working for somebody else in the comic book industry and you're working for these publishers, I think month to month at this point, you're basically you're gonna wonder where your next paycheck is coming from, because I think we're gonna see more and more and more of this as the comic book industry continues to decline, despite what the New York Times says. So,
agree.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey, guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.